This video is brought to you by viewers like you. Consider supporting us on Patreon.
Yo, what the fuck is up? Everybody out there on the YouTube source, you go by Papa Teeks, baby, coming to you live from the J-Land. Today we are out, and I haven't buckled my helmet yet because I'm a bad boy. Today we're out, and we are going to a friend's house today in Nakano-ku. I'm going from Nakano-Shimbashi to Nakano-ku today. And yeah, we're going to my friend's house because he made some awesome food, and his wife is a tiny Asian woman who barely ate any of it, and he put a good dent into it. So I'm gonna go eat. He sent me a picture and he's like, look at this, I made some awesome food. And I was like, can I go over and eat some food? And he's like, yeah, fuck it, come on over. And I'm like, yeah, you know, whatever, it's good food. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today. Welcome back, everybody. Like always, want to give a shout out to the sponsors of today's video. Boom, Nakano-Shimbashi Guest House. Bam. You need a cheap place to stay in Tokyo, and now they're doing under $300 a month. It's crazy. Go there. Go to the website down below. Tell them Tkyosam sent you. And yeah, when you come over here, make sure you have a good time. Hell yeah. Also, big shout out to NordVPN. They're an affiliate sponsor of this, but also you guys are either, if you're studying Japanese and you want to watch Netflix, Japan Netflix, or you're just going around a lot outside and you're connecting to pocket Wi-Fi, or what is it, regular Wi-Fi's, because you have shitty data, consider signing up for it because it will protect your computer. Yep. Okay, here we go. Hi. どうも、今日は、Mr. Kitamura。まあ、久しぶりだな。OK。元気に、レギュラー、満タンで。はい、かしこまりました。よろしく。Motherfucking yoroshiku. Oh man, I was running on empty there. That's good. Also, big shout out to Epidemic Music. They're the ones that I use for my, They're the ones that I use for my music here in my videos. And yeah, I don't know. If you're looking to start your own YouTube channel, I was really against using licensed music for a long time, but I checked it out. You know, if you check the link down below, you get like a 1 month free, whatever the fuck, free subscription for this shit. And yeah, I don't know, check it out. If you don't like it, just fucking quit. And if you do, then yeah, you know, keep it up. Okay, Mr. Kitamura, there you go. Hi, okay. This guy fucks. He fucks hard, I can tell. That guy gets it in there. Guys, let's put a comment in the chat for fuck yeah, Kitamura. This guy's obviously a badass. Nobody fucks with this dude. Okay. Nice. 大変ありがとうね。今夜はKitamura さんの朝までバンバンのセックスの頑張るさのことを応援してるぜ。頑張ってくださいな。応援してるぜ。ファイト。頑張れ。Oh, that was fun. I don't know why everyone was backed up. They could have pulled in. There's like 3 other fucking gas things there. Also, for other sponsors, I don't know. I think that was it. Epidemic Sound, NordVPN. And oh yeah, Patreon. Thank you guys for going over on Patreon. I decided recently that when I make these vlogs, I'm going to try to put a longer version of them on Patreon, as well as like behind the scenes stuff and all this other shit. So yeah, big shout out to all of you guys. Look at that dude. Got blonde hair and he's got the fucking bike. That guy fucks. That guy fucks hard, I can tell. You can just tell when some dude fucks, and he fucks hard. But anyway, I don't know if it's tasteless to put sponsors in a video where I'm talking about somebody who died, but I think Eric would approve of this. I don't think he would. I think he understands that everyone's got to put bread on the table. Yeah, and so like I said, we're going from Nakano-Shimbashi, where I live, to Nakano-ku, which is in between Shinagawa and Meguro. It's in the south area. It's basically rich cunt old people area. of Tokyo. Every place in southern Tokyo is pretty much rich old cunt area, so just for your information. Yeah, I guess the question of the day is, who is like a minor celebrity that died? Tell me about them. One of my favorite things to do is when I make these videos is I reply, you know. If you guys check my recent videos, I try to reply to every comment, you know. I always like creating the dialogue here and hearing updates from you guys and recognizing your screen names and stuff and saying hi. But anyway, yeah, tell me about like a minor celebrity or somebody you knew who changed your life and they died. Like, tell me about how they changed your life, or, you know, why you remember them and why you wish more people did remember them. Yeah, let's do that. Today's a nice, cool winter day. As you can see, the foliage has changed a bit, and yeah. Anyway, let's just get into it. Fuck it. So I was meaning to make this video for a while, where I would talk about this guy. But I wanted to make it like a full-on video essay and make it something like really deep and like touching or whatever. And I just I don't know. I got overwhelmed with everything I wanted to say and like how I wanted to edit it. So I was just like, fuck it. Why don't I just make a rant? And then I'll get to and then like, you know, after the rant, once I say what I want to say, if I want to make a bigger video for this, then I will. So anyway, that's why it's with a rant. Yeah, but anyway, for a little backstory on what the hell we're talking about today. So I don't know about you guys. The younger generation are stupid. I mean, I'm sorry. I love you guys all equally. But man, you younger people are stupid. You're so stupid. And I do mean that in an offensive, mean way. I think that a lot of you guys are, I mean, to be fair, you guys don't know what's going on. I mean, you guys are surrounded by phones that keep your eyes locked to the screen 24/7. And instead of like having deep, long, detailed fucking things, you guys have like Fisher-Price size font on everything, and just like, I don't know, I hate it. I hate stuff recently. In fact, I was talking about this the other day. I was like, you know, I understand GPS and having internet on your phone is helpful, but I'm thinking about just cutting off the internet on my phone. There's all the data, fuck it. So that way, if people want to contact me or whatever through Line, or they want to like message me through Facebook or something, that I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I'll just cut it off, or I'll put the data at the very minimum. So if I want to use my phone, I have to be connected to Wi-Fi. I don't know, I've been debating that for a while, just because I can't keep my fucking hand from checking Instagram and Facebook and all this shit. And I don't know. I just but anyway, the reason why I say you guys are stupid is because in my live streams, I sometimes ask you guys, like, what books have you read recently? You know, like, share your knowledge with me. Share what you've been reading. Share some blogs and stuff. And everybody always says, like, yeah, I don't read. Nah. And I think that's such bullshit when people say they don't read. Because you'll go through, like, 100 Facebook posts, and each one of them will have, like, a paragraph. And, like, you'll read every single one of them. So it's like, you love variety, and you like reading, but you just don't want to fucking read one thing for too long. The focus is dwindling. And, anyway, when I first came to Japan, YouTube wasn't that popular still. Like, YouTube was still kind of getting off the ground. And, you know, like, it was still, like, very Wild West days of YouTube. And so I didn't really watch it that often. And especially at work, you know, my first couple years here in Japan, I was an ALT, which is like a public school English teacher that got dispatched to the schools. But I'm not like a real legit teacher because I don't have a teaching license, and my responsibilities are literally like 1/100th of what the Japanese teacher's responsibilities are. So I'm literally just a stand-in tape recorder that's supposed to expose the kids to like a fun foreigner, and the kids, you know, they enjoy it. It's fun. But anyway, because I was low responsibility Mr. Bill or whatever over here, I had a lot of free time. And so one of the things that I did was, because I obviously like you know, I obviously had to look like I was still working, even though I wasn't. You know, and I was lucky. The first couple of years I worked here, I only had to like work like literally like 2 to 4 hours a day. You know, it was very, very fortunate. I literally just had to sit down in the teacher's room when I didn't have class, and I would just hang out, you know, just hang out and fucking. And one of the things I would do is that every school, they wouldn't let me bring my laptop in, and even if I did, they wouldn't let me connect to the network. So, and most of the schools, even back then, this is like 10, 13 years ago, they didn't have a Wi-Fi really set up in the school. So I would have to plug in the computer to the LAN, and yeah, and like luckily every school usually had like laptops. All these schools, they have so much technology that you can use, but they never use it. So I would get a laptop out, and I would have only one screen, and I would split it into half. Like I would put a blog on one side, and I would put my Japanese flashcards on the other. And all the blogs, and this is back when we had iGoogle, and iGoogle was amazing. For all of you guys who never got to try iGoogle, I apologize, because there's never been an alternative for iGoogle, I think, up until now. And iGoogle was basically a custom homepage. So it was your own homepage, but like, so you could put everything there. There was all these kinds of widgets. So it's like, you want to know the weather. You want to see your your most recent incoming emails. You want to connect other emails to it. You want to have an RSS feed for the blog, so you don't need to go directly to the blog website, but you can read, it imports the newest blog articles from your favorite blogs. Like, it was amazing. And so, you know, one of the things I did when I first moved to Japan is I looked for people that I could look up to, that were like, you know, that were Gaijin like me, that had already kind of been in the shit, you know. So I was like, okay, cool. And so I found tons of different people, and I even made a blog about it. Or I even made a post about it, or a rant. I think it was called like my favorite rants or something. Just remind me in the comments, and I'll post it in the description or in the comments down below, so you guys can hear that, where I talk about all my favorite bloggers. But you know, some of them, like, there were so many people blogging and not many people doing YouTube. I mean, I think it was just like YouTube was a new medium still, and people just didn't know how to make videos. They didn't want to like try. And so like, but there were so many people blogging, and there were people like Daniel, or what is it, like Danny Chu, Neil Druckmann, Mike's Blender, the fucking what was it, the one that was on LiveJournal that was called like Tasty Japan or something, like where all the dude did was talk shit. There were so many blogs, and I read all of them, and they were all like, they all had their own individual flavor and style to this. And like, you know, you guys got to remember, I was an English lit major, so I love reading. Like, you know, well, also the ADHD pills really helped too. But like, I've always loved reading, and you know, that's one thing that I'm really ashamed of myself, is that I really cut back on my reading since I like moved to Tokyo, pretty much. Well, not even my first years in Tokyo. I would use my little shitty iPhone 3G or iPhone 4G, and I would download PDFs of books, and I would read them in between classes on my tiny little iPhone. And it was amazing. I can't believe I still did that. That was like, and I think that was before even the Kindle came out. But yeah, like, that's how much I loved reading. Like, I found out a way to do it still, because I didn't want to carry around books every fucking day. But anyway, these blogs though, they all had their individual flavors, but none of them were like real badasses, you know. Like, I've been hanging out with one of the guys at the guest house named Nick, and he goes around, he's like, "You're one of them bad boys, aren't you? You're a bad boy. You're one of them bad boys." But I mean, yeah, like, there's a lot of bloggers out there, but they were all like the Mike's Blender guy. I think he was an English teacher, but his posts were really good and clean. I never liked like Danny Chu's blog. I wanted to like it, but his blog always took up so much data, and like on my computer, like, it took forever to load the fucking page, so I barely read his stuff. I don't know, like, I appreciate it now, like, considering a lot of bloggers, they cut up their shit per, like, you know, into a couple different pages, so you have to refresh so you'll see new ads and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like, so I understand what Danny Chu did. I appreciate it, but I just could never get into it. There was like Tofugu, there was AJAT, like, for learning Japanese and stuff. There were people that would do like hiking and nature and cooking, and like give advice for shit, like on what to do for like my permanent residency, like how to. A lot of dumbasses hired a fucking lawyer. I just went to like 5 different blog websites, you know, 5 different blogs that were talking about their PR applying experience, and then I just saw what was the common theme between all of them, and I did what they said. I didn't hire a lawyer, I just did my own research. And I was like, fuck it, if it comes down to it, I'll have to, like, if I need to hire a lawyer, I will, but, you know, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna follow these things, and yeah, you know? And there were so many fucking blogs out there that were great, and I remember there was even a website called Japan Probe that would link to all these people. Now, but Japan Probe, I don't think they had any favoritism. I remember meeting the guy who ran it for a while, but, like, I remember his name was like Peter or something, or James. I ran into him at a party in Ginza, and he was a really nice guy, really cool dude. But anyway, there were some people that sometimes people wouldn't link to or they wouldn't talk about. Like, for example, Gaijin Smash. Gaijin Smash was this guy who talked shit about, well, he didn't talk shit. He was actually very, very smart. His nickname was Azrael, and he was this big black dude who went to Kansai, and he was the reason I found out about Tucker Max, because he was in the same blog role, like the same blog group as him. And anyway, thanks to Gaijin Smash, I found the forum Fucked Gaijin, and thanks to Fucked Gaijin, I found the blog GaijinAss. And sorry, I know that was kind of a big build-up, but yeah, that was GaijinAss. I found Eric Barnes's blog GaijinAss. Now, if any of you guys are personal friends of Eric, like, and I get some stuff wrong, please just correct me in the comment section down below, because like it's been a while, and I spent a good couple hours just going through his blog last night and listening to his podcast and everything. So if I got anything wrong, please just correct it in the comments. And also, if you knew Eric personally, please write down in the comments like some of your favorite memories about him, or if he was an asshole, don't be too mean. But yeah. So anyway, GaijinAss was great because it was unlike all these other English teachers. This guy originally came to Japan to do MMA. He was an ex-Marine, and so he's pretty badass, you know. I love his description of. I was reading some of his Quora replies, and I hate fucking Reddit and Quora, but for him, I read his Quora replies, and I guess Quora is like one of those websites where you can give advice or something, and like, you know, for random questions, kind of like Reddit. And Eric's replies there were fucking hilarious. And I remember when he described his military career, he's like, dude, I got to shoot big guns, like machine guns, and blow up shit, and I got to play hide and seek professionally. I love how he said, like, dodging bullets is hide and seek professionally. Like, you know, that's one thing I really appreciate about military dudes. They got this sixth sense of humor, and it's like, dude, like, that's how you deal when you see the most fucked up shit that most people shouldn't have to see. You gotta have a sense of humor about these things. Now, Eric was a sniper in the Marines, and he was a pretty big, built dude. He's from the U.S. I don't remember exactly where, and yeah, he came here as a fighter, and he was really into martial arts, and eventually I think he got into English teaching, and you know, from there he, like, you know, he was basically like a bro, you know. He went out and he hung out with a lot of fighters all the time. Like, he knew people like Bob Sapp and like all these other MMA fighters. He was cool with them, and so, you know, he was more of a dude's dude, man's man. Like, he was an English teacher, but I'm pretty sure he had his own school. And yeah, I mean, like, he was very, like, if you guys like me and you like reading, you're gonna love Eric or GaijinAss. Now, he made articles that really nobody ever fucking talked about. Like, you know, a lot of people, they talk about maybe going to jail, but they would never show their fucking pussy ass faces. And like, I went to jail, and he was just like, I'm a man, I'll do it. Like, you know, he's like, he talks about when he, I don't agree with 100% of what he said in his post, but I'm glad he made it. And yeah, he has a post about all the different, at the time, all the different Gaijin agencies and what to expect when you're going to be a Gaijin on TV, and, you know, how you're going to be treated and what you're going to get paid. And then he talked about how, you know, again, like, he talked about, like, all these different taboo topics, like him going to jail. you know, his jail experience in Japan. Talked about, you know, he talks about hookers and Yakuza and all this different shit. And, like, you know, he just didn't care. He was a badass. He talked about what the fuck he wanted to talk about. And I loved him. I loved him for doing that. Because there's so many people that are always afraid. And I'm going to pull over a little bit. Let me just pull in right here. There's so many people that are afraid of, you know, being singled out, being called out for, like, talking about anything taboo. I mean, like, especially fucking English-speaking, you know, English material-making Gaijin. So, hold on one second. I gotta just check my my GPS to make sure I'm going the right place. GPS, tell me where Nakano-ku is. I know I gotta go, Nakano-ku station. Yeah, I know that if I go down this road, then I'm just gonna have to turn. Yeah, dude, fucking, just say the thing. Kato, there we go. The fuck are you talking about? But that is not the right way at all. Okay, I need to turn. Okay, if I'm going down south, then I gotta turn right on number 1 or number 2. Okay. Why is it every fucking every time I type the GPS, it's always like, yeah, you want to use tolls, right? And I'm like, dude, I'm going like 20 feet. Like, so you want to use tolls or you don't want to use tolls? Fucking idiot. It's Nakate. Nakano-ku, dude, you fucking bitch. What is this? Yeah, so what road do I want to go down? Yeah, number 2. Number 2 or number 1? Okay, so just keep going down here until I see 2 or 1. And when I get to Gotanda, just turn right. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, guys, welcome to Nakameguro 2. By the way, this is this is the Richkan area of Tokyo again. This area is actually like very popular. They have a lot of I don't know, all these good-to-do people around here, but they still have shit places that are cheap, like Saizeria and Don Quixote and stuff. It's pretty funny, but if you notice, if you go here and then you go to a place like that's outside Tokyo, you'll see the fashion difference. Like, these people got money. But anyway, so Eric GaijinAss, he made material that I really enjoyed because it was just like, it was real talk, you know. And he talked about the dardiness and shit, and he was a big tough guy too. So it's like you knew he could hold his own. And like those fight places, you know, the fight worlds, you know, those are run by not the most legitimate of people. So you know, he was dealing with a lot of sketchy people. And like Eric was also like, he was a bodyguard, he was a security guard for a while, and anyway, yeah, like it was just fun. Like you can. I mean, luckily we live in an age now where you can still see his blog, you can still see his YouTube stuff, and I hope his friends or somebody has downloaded his stuff just to archive it for later, because unfortunately, like, what is it, Eric was, like, I think he was active online for a while, like, at least 5-7+ years or whatever, but in 2017 he died. He died in his house, and his wife found him collapsed on the floor, and he had died of a heart attack. Now, I heard the reason why, but I'm not gonna like speculate because he was young and stuff. But you know, you know, it wasn't drug related, but yeah, it's just, you know, sometimes this shit happens, and it was sad because his wife was pregnant at the time. She was 1 month away from giving birth to her daughter, or their daughter. And yeah, I mean, like, this is just a tragedy that unfortunately happened. And I reached out to people on Facebook last night, and I was just like, guys, do any of you know Eric Barnes, GaijinAss? Like, did any of you ever talk to him? Do any of you know him? Or like, have any of you dealt with him personally? And you know, luckily one of my coworkers actually was good friends with him. That was right out of the blue, you know. I didn't expect that. So I got to talk to him for a little bit about, like, you know, his thoughts about Eric, and apparently they became really close when a guy named Rocky died, and I guess that was like an acquaintance of both of theirs. But yeah, so they both knew each other from that. And yeah, my coworker, he's I mean, I'm only at that school for like literally like half a day a week, so I don't know if we call each other coworkers, but you know, that guy that works at the school I go to sometimes, he's a pretty stoic, like Buddhist, like really Asia-loving dude, and so I'd understand why both of those guys got along. I mean, me personally, there's so many things that Eric and I had in common that I just felt a click with versus other people, you know, like I'll admit I'm not a good writer. I've never really tried to be a good writer. Any essay or anything I've ever done in my life, I always just wrote a first draft of it, and then I'd always have like a friend edit it for me to make it sound better or be better. Like, I was never really confident in my writing, but I'd like to think that I have a decent amount of pacing and a sense of humor when it came to writing my old blog and stuff on WordPress. And when I read Eric's blog, I just can't help but laugh. He's always got this like kind of like I'm better than you attitude, but at the same time he backs it up, you know. He's like one of those guys who it's like when like somebody's pretending to be an expert to somebody, and then you correct them, and then they're like, how do you know? And then it's like, well, actually I wrote the book, and they're like, oh my god. And like, you know, it's one of those guys. And I love that he, just like me, took the piss on all these fucking weeboos, like all these guys that like Gaijin Goomba, who are just like 17 years, like oh man, this fucking car is sexy as fuck. What car is this, guys? Lexus something. Lexus, my car is hot, shove it in the ass kind of Lexus. But I love the fact that that he would take a piss out on guys like Gaijin Goomba, because Gaijin Goomba was he's another YouTuber that I don't like, because he acted so high and mighty when the Logan Paul thing went down. And so he's always acted like he's like this amazing guy because he came to Japan on jet for like 2 years, and then he's like, I know everything about Japan. By the way, I don't live in Japan, and I married a white chick, but please. And like anyway, you know, in Gaijin Goomba's video, he talks about like, if you don't know Hone and Tatemai and all this bullshit, like he was like ingrained, like he was like the book Shogun was based off of him marooning on the island and learning everything. You fucking prick, you didn't even turn on your signal. Fucking rich people. Idiots. You idiots. But you know, like I saw this great quote. Like, and one of his quotes, like I was reading a blog post before I got on the bike today, and it's like 3 books you need to read in order to help you understand Japan. And I love it. He's just like, look, you don't know Japan, I don't know Japan, even Japanese people don't know Japan, but you can get closer to learning about Japan and like knowing about Japan. And he recommended these books. I only remember the first one, and it was called Kata, and it's about like, and it's pretty on the nose about how Japan treats foreigners, like, you know, more like tourists or temporary people that are staying and hanging around. And then I love it, like at the end of it, like there's this quote, or I mean like, well, in the middle of the blog, he's quoting parts of the book, and he's like, I love it, it's just like, see, Japan sees foreigners as more of temporary residents, and so they are always usually the habits are, when encountering a foreigner, is to be overgleed and exaggerate everything and compliment them to show that they are being humble towards their guests. And and it's just like and anyway, and it's like anyway, it talks about like Tatemai and Hone, and anyway, it's just basically saying that, like, you know, people come over here and they want to be respectful to Japanese people, but they don't really know Japan. They don't know it. So it's like, you know, you could say how much you know it, but you never really know it. And oh, there it is, number 2. I gotta go that way. Okay, cool. I gotta go to number 2. Okay. By the way, that car behind me has a blue license plate, and that means that they are a diplomat's car. So that's funny. A foreign diplomat. Foreign diplomats don't have to have they don't have to have a Japanese driver's license. I think they can just drive whatever. Same thing with foreign diplomats, bodyguards being allowed to carry guns. Pretty cool. Diplomatic immunity. But anyway, I love the fact that Eric tore the shit out of jets, because personally I hate jets too. And for all of you guys who don't know, jets, there's basically 2 ways to become a public school teacher in Japan. It's either 1, you get hired by a private Japanese company and they send you to these schools on contracts, or 2, you get hired directly from the Japanese government abroad, going through a strenuous screening process, and then they hook you up. They put you in a nice area of Japan most of the time that's like way out in the countryside, and then they pay for your housing, they pay for your transportation. They pretty much just baby you, and you have to be a certain breed of person to be a jet. Like I don't know, I'm thinking of YouTubers right now, like Roger Swan, rest in peace, my buddy. He was a jet. Shimane Jason, or Jason Sumo Channel, he was a jet. Albo, Drift Hunter Albo, he was a jet. There's a lot of people that came over here as jets, and yeah, even I think the Kelly Morita, she was a jet too. So you can kind of see with these people the idea of what you're getting. Like they have their own kind of indoctored way of thinking, and they've got their own flavor, but they're very not PC, but they know how to shut the fuck up when it comes to important shit, you know. And anyway, so you know, Eric Barnes, the fucking GaijinAss, he would always shit on these dudes, because usually there's always this kind of divide between English teachers, like for the private company English teachers and the public jets, because the jets always have a chip on their shoulder being like, haha, I passed this strenuous fucking interview and you couldn't even get past it. And so yeah, battery's gonna die. Okay, gotta be careful to check the battery. But anyway, there's just so many things. Like Eric's very straight talking, kind of like jokingly, like, you know, it's all fucked kind of mentality about things. But it's not being defeatist, but it was just, or nihilistic. It's just like, hey man, like the world's fucked up, and you gotta find the humor, and you gotta find the best part of it while you can, while not fucking by not what do you call it? But not you know, fooling yourself that like everything's gonna be rainbows and gumdrops. The world is a cold place. It's hard. People die all the time. People, like, you know, a lot of people take their fucking safe lives anywhere for granted, you know, having clean water, etc. Look at this car. Look at this fucking car. Look at this guy. I don't know, guys. Tell me if this guy fucks. Tell me if he fucks in the comments. Does the guy in the red car fuck? Yes or no? Write down. Give me an answer. But yeah, I just what is it? Thinking about how he took the shit on jets, and he also, like, again, like, he was very like, view-wise, he was very like me, you know? I'm very anti-PC. I'm very George Carlin about it. I'm like, the moment that we start censoring or policing words or speech, and then giving people who complain about it a fucking medal, is the day that, like, our society will start to crumble. And I honestly think that, you know, and that's one of the reasons I love Japan, you know. And like, he talks about this too, about like why Japan kicks ass in one of his blogs, where he's just like, you know, I was going through them again last night, but he's like, yeah, you know, Japan, unlike Western society, they're not little bitches about this. They're not letting their whole narrative be fucking flipped and twisted by all these small little minority groups online. And it doesn't mean that they're hating on them. It doesn't mean that they don't respect them. It's just saying that, like, cool, you guys do your thing, but look, you know, we have our thing, and we're doing it. Like, you know, and like, we're letting you do what you want, and that's fine. But just don't fucking try to tell us what to do. And, you know, and that's the thing, too. Like, people complain Japan doesn't allow gay marriage. Japan totally allows gay marriage. They even, well, I mean, not for Japanese people, but for foreign couples, if you get married to a Japanese person, in a foreign country like France or America where that's allowed and you are legally married on paper, Japan has to let you in. They had a whole article about it on the Japan Times about a French gay couple, French-Japanese gay couple that got married. And the dude's like, because technically they can't, I don't know how it works out, but technically it works, or at least it worked for the French couple. But I mean, like, saying like Japan's not progressive enough because they don't take in enough refugees, or like they don't acknowledge gay people enough. I mean, yeah, Japan is very conservative like that. They still have a bit of a way to go, but it's not oppressive. I wouldn't say it's oppressive. I think they're very accepting, at least in Tokyo. I'd hope other places too, but it's just, you know, I love the fact that Japanese love being Japanese, and the fact of the matter is that Japanese is kind of a hard language to learn, and they don't have the system set up. And I notice this with a lot of countries that have refugees, or like especially like fucking Germany or Sweden, you know, they're just like, come on in by the truckload. And you know, the thing is that like if you're going to be letting these people in, you need to have a system for them to assimilate, learn the language, learn the customs, be a part of the culture. And a lot of the time they're just like, okay, come on in and do whatever you want. And in Japan, they don't have a system for even like regular people to come on in and like learn Japanese, learn about the language and everything, and assimilate to the culture. It's still kind of not separatist, but it's just it's hard. You have to really go out of your way to be part of the shit that's going on here. And I love that Eric kind of points that out, and he's like, look, I'm not being racist, and it's just like, you know, but that's the, you know, the system's not in place for that, and if Japan doesn't want to do it, then fuck you, you know? Like, and I don't know, I really respected his views, and I never really thought really hard about that up until now. And I know there's a lot of people that are going to probably be angry and pissed off at me for, like, having opinions like this, and that's fine. That's fine. I understand. We all, but I mean, unlike people who get pissed off and not follow me or unfollow me because of this stuff, I don't want to be in an echo chamber, you know? I like being around people that have different fucking points of view than me, because it's fun. You don't want to be with the same people who think your same fucking thoughts all the time. It's going to be boring. But when it comes to people that are older than you, I mean, like, that's the thing. I spent my whole life pretty much around like people that were older than me. So it's like, you know, I'm in elementary school, I'm in a boarding school, there's like high schoolers around me. You know, when I'm in middle school, I'm hanging out with my friends' older brothers and stuff. In high school, we're hanging out, like, we're freshmen, but we're hanging out with the seniors because we're skaters and we all just skate together. Like, there was a big, diverse group of people when I was around, you know? Like, back home, I guess, in America. And I tried to keep that up in Japan, where I'm like, look, like, there's people that have been here that know their shit better than me. And, yeah, I don't know. And he was one of the guys that really stood out for me. I'm like, oh, fuck, this guy knows what he's talking about. Or at least I like what he's talking about. And, yeah, go. The light's only going to be there for like 5 seconds. Assholes. But anyway, I don't know. I'm getting to the end of this because my battery's about to die. But I just want to say, it's just like he fucking, like, you know, Eric, I never met you in person. I never really corresponded with you, but you changed my life, man. You changed my life, and I you know, I don't know you, but I love you, and I wish there were more people like you around now in my life. And you know, I think that I'm happy that he was able to make a difference where he could, even if it was just to a small group of people like me. And I'm happy that people loved him enough that they could help his wife and daughter move to the U.S. And hold on, and just whew. I don't know, man. You were a great guy, and I loved your material, and I loved the way that you talked, and I liked the way that you lived your life, and I like that you lived in Ikebukuro, and you loved Ikebukuro just as much as me, even though I moved out of there. But you loved Ikebukuro, you knew who you were, and you fucking owned it. And for that, I'll always try to be like you. And I hope to someday, you you know, what is it? Meet your wife and daughter and tell them how much of a cool guy you were and how much of a difference you made in my life. And like I said, if you guys knew Eric, please write it down in the comment section and tell me about how he affected your life. And anyway, yeah, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, all that bullshit. Ugh, I'm not gonna cry. See you guys later. Rest in peace, Eric. Hey everybody. Hey, so it's Papa Tico. I don't have a bandana today. Oh my god. Oh. Anyway, let's go get some turkey at my buddy Rich's house. Cause yeah, turkey. Let's go.